Okay guys, welcome back and let's continue to work on our project. Um, as you remember, we created IAM policy to allow our dev user to upload data into S3 location. And so first of all, let's upload some sample data. So let's create the folder and name it test dataset. Click save. Inside of the folder, let's upload some file with some data, and this is actually a small CSV file. So, but the proposal of this video is not about the uploading part, it's more about the permission part. So we still have permissions issue with our dev user, because as you remember, our dev user was created from scratch without any access to any AWS services, and right now we allow him to upload data only on a S3 bucket. But in lake formation, we also provided access for this user to our database, and right now inside of database we need to create the tables. So if you click on the tables, you will find that lake formation allows us to create tables in different ways. So first of all, you just can click create table and provide the table name, database, some description, path where data is located, data format of data format and schema. So, and to use this opportunity to provide the schema, you have to do this manual. So you have to add column 1, then click, then add column and column. So it's a good way when you have a couple of columns, but imagine like you have hundreds of columns, and it's very often because that's how data can come. With hundreds of columns, it will be very painful. So because of that, we will use another way to create the table, and we will use crawler to create the table. And because right now we are under admin user, so let me switch to our dev user. And basically AWS Lake Formation for any activities with data not related to security is using AWS Glue service. So if I go, for example, into AWS Lake Formation service, and under dev I click tables and I click create table using a crawler, it's moved me to AWS Glue console. So as you can see, crawlers and jobs, it's pointed to a Glue service. So let's switch directly to the Glue service from our dev user. So, and as you can see, we have access to database, and here is our database, and but we don't have tables. So to do the tables, we can click add tables using crawler or crawlers, create crawler, so whatever way is convenient for you. So let's name our crawler like test dataset. Click next. So we actually can do something here like tagging, security configuration, some classifier for the data, but let's not focus right now on the glue. Let's focus right now on the permissions issue which we will get from our once we try to create the crawler, ingest the data and so on. So let's focus on that one. So I'm going to create a separate video where we'll discuss crawler, jobs, workflows in much more details than like this. So let's just click next, use source type which is data store. Our data store is S3. We also have RDS and DynamoDB. We can use connection, but let's leave it from now. So we have to specify S3 path. So let's click here and choose our test dataset. So inside of test dataset, we will have the table. So just imagine that you set up something from your third-party vendor, which this vendor just upload the data in your S3 location. So it can be like, I don't know, on-prem setup, so they upload data from on-prem into cloud, or it can be some SFTP service which upload data into your S3 location. Whatever data is coming, it's coming into this folder, so test data set, and it's coming in a CSV file. And right now we will not use partitions, but I will show you another example with partition later. So right now we would like to have a crawler who will crawl only this folder, because basically we can create on one level up, and if we will have much more folders, it will be automatically created the tables, but I will show you later how it works. So for now, let's focus on this one. So let's create select and click next, and there is another data source. No, we don't want to use. Click next, and here is the things. So we need to provide the IAM role which allow that crawler to run with access on our S3 data store. So basically we can try to create the role, for example, I don't know, glue role. Let's put on this way, click next, and we will face it with the issue, with IAM permissions issue, because cloud in action dev user doesn't have access to create role, because he basically doesn't have access to anything instead of what we explicitly give him. And basically this is not normal situation, because the AWS suggests to everyone to use least privileges model. So that's mean we have to give the privileges to user only when user require this. So instead of just provide the admin access for all services, even the user is not required to use the services, we will face it with the permissions issue, and we will fix this permission issue, because this is the right way to keep your cloud secured. In that case, even if your dev account will be compromised, this dev account will have access only to specific services which you gave them. So we actually can do a couple of things. So first of all, we can give access to IAM, but IAM, it's very like powerful things, and this is not actually the best practice to do this. So actually the best practice is, before users will start to use services, admin user will give them permissions to do this. So, and to give permission that user create a role, we don't want to give him permission to create the role. We want to create the role instead from admin side and give this user permission to assume this role. So if we if we click to choose to on existing role, we don't have role here. So okay, let's switch to admin, cloud connection admin, and let's switch to the role, and let's create this role. So right now we are IAM management service. Click on role, create role, and we need to use service glue, because we are going to create role for glue service. And then we need to click permissions, and basically we need to provide two permissions, because if you go back, we can read here. So basically you have to read very careful what AWS is writing. So this role must provide permission similar to AWS service role plus access to your data store. So basically that means we need to attach glue service role, because we have to provide all these permissions, plus we have to attach some specific to our crawler, and in our case it will be still custom manage S3 access to landing data location. Okay, so click next, click preview. Okay, you see I forgot to choose another policy. Let's preview. Yes, tag review. Okay, and let's name this policy in specific way. Okay, because we are going to use this name, specific name convention when we will allow our developers assume this role, and I will show you how it works. So the name role will be like this: glue dev landing test dataset. So basically that's mean we will provide for glue service for developers user landing, which is our database, and test dataset. So, and using this pattern, we will be able to divide, for example, based on different data sets. I mean, we can provide access for different data sets, or if we will modify another IAM policy, we can provide access for example, for landing and for some other database like provision database or staging database. So let's right now use this pattern, and you will see how it works in the future. So we can, role description is fine. Okay, create role. So role was created, and right now let's switch back to the dev user and just click to refresh. And now we see that this role exists, and we try to click next. And right now it looks like it works, but it's not. Let's go further. So click next. We will choose where the output of the crawler will be. The output will be in our database. Prefix of the table, we will leave it as this for now, and click next. We check in. Okay, name of the crawler, S3 location, IAM role, schedule run on demand, and click finish. And we got another error, and this error means that our cloud in action dev user is not authorized to perform pass role. So that means that user cannot pass this role which we created. Okay, so let's fix this again. Let's go to IAM console and let's create the policy which allow us to do this. So in that case, we need to choose IAM service, and we basically need to have a couple of actions. We need to get role action, and pass role action. Okay, and for resources, again, it's not a good thing when you do all resources, but so be more specific. It will keep your account insecure. Okay, click IRN. Okay, so we would like to use role name with pass. Yeah, fine. As you remember, our role was like this, right? So it's glue dev landing test dataset. So let's do the following. Let's change this for star. So in that case, wherever role will be created, for example, dev landing super secure dataset, or dev landing some other datasets from other different vendors, so we can have a granularity to provide the permission on this level. So let's click add, click review. Let's name it assume role for glue jobs something like this, create policy. And now we need to attach this to developers group. Developers. Attach policy. Okay, good. So if you click finish right now, yeah, you see, we are good now. So right now we are able to create the crawler, and we also created a couple of additional policy in IAM console from admin side. And basically that's just, I'm just show you in details because of error, but as usually it's like when you create a dev account, you ask developers what the level of access they need, and based on their response you provide all necessary policy in one place, or maybe divided by services, but anyway it's just one-time activity, so it's not so long as I recorded. So for this time it's pretty much that's it. Okay, let's continue to work on next tutorial, and as for now, yeah, please subscribe, put some comments if you need more information about this topic, and yeah, stay tuned. Thanks.